From the studios of KENW on the campus of Eastern New Mexico University, it's You Should Know, featuring the people and events of Eastern New Mexico and West Texas.
Welcome to You Should Know. I'm your host, Evelyn Ledbetter, and today we're paying tribute to something that's been part of our community for years with some great guests, Linda Miller-Brown and Dave Nash. Thank y'all both so much for being in today.
Oh, you're welcome, Evelyn. Thanks for having us and giving us the opportunity to talk about
Oh, well,
this.
all three of us grew up at Floyd,
Mhm.
and I'm guessing we all, you've lifetime resident.
Yes, still there.
And Dave, you said you're back living in the house you were born in.
Right.
So, well, graduated at Floyd and
Deep roots.
deep, they do
Yeah.
go deep, families and everything else. But this jamboree, tell us a little bit about it, Linda, just overall for people that might not know what it is.
Well, its history, as I understand it, started back 1950, that era, and there was a need for some sports uniforms for one of the teams at the school, and a group of local musicians got together and said, "We'll put on a show to raise money for this." And the Lions Club came in either that year or the next year and said they would help sponsor this, and it's gone on ever since.
And there's the history.
Yeah.
And that was what year that it started?
I think it was 1950.
Okay. Well, I know we have it on,
That's what year we claim.
okay. So this would actually be the 76th year, but
It would be
you didn't have the show 1 year because of COVID?
2 years, I believe.
2 years. So
2 years.
this may be the 74th actual performing year of the
Might be,
show.
yes, it's the 74th time we actually performed, but those 2 years we thought about it.
You
Yeah,
performed in your
yeah.
heart.
Yes, we did.
Well, this has always been a huge deal. I remember when I was a kid, I mean, you
Oh.
would have car lights for several miles lined up headed to this show, and it was originally 3 nights a week.
Yes,
So,
yes, it was 3 big nights, and we packed the house every night.
and if I remember right, it wasn't originally called the Jamboree, right?
That's right. It was patterned after the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville,
Mhm.
and when they started out, each of the performers were emulating one of the performers on the Grand Ole Opry in
Okay.
Nashville. So we had the solemn old judge who did our advertisements. We had Minnie Pearl. We had
I had forgot about that.
yeah, and so they all performed as if they were on the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. And then I suppose it was early '70s. There a problem arose
They
using that name, so they
yeah,
changed it to the Floyd Country Jamboree.
that says quite a lot that it reached all the way to Nashville to know that you were using
That
the
that
Grand Ole
is,
Opry.
I hadn't thought of that, Evelyn, but you're right.
And this was just held in the gym, the school
Yeah.
that burned down,
Yes,
started.
it was in the auditorium in the old building that burned down in '77. Um, it was it was the largest room we had at the school, but it wasn't big
Right,
when we think of theaters now.
sure,
It was over the gym, so it was the floor was unsupported for quite a ways
because the gym was in the
because the
basement.
gym, yes. So we packed that room. People would be out in the hallways beside it. We just filled the whole schoolhouse, and when the music was going, that whole building rocked with the rhythm. It was quite the deal.
Probably always concerned you might just rock your way right down onto
Yeah.
the gym floor and go through.
You wondered.
Yeah, that's what it felt like, but
That's
it was good.
And then later it moved over to one of the gyms, right?
Yes.
Well, and what was the new gym then, who's now the old gym again, but
Right.
and it had big windows all along the west, right?
Yes. Well, on both sides, and the Busy Bee Quilting Club from Floyd, they sewed big, heavy curtains to help with the acoustics.
Okay, and I thought maybe it was to keep the light out too when it was
Yeah, no, it was just for
it was
the
just for
acoustics,
the
and yeah,
acoustics.
And they were heavy.
yeah,
They
And
were
it
red
took
and
a
blue,
lot of
is that
work
right?
to put
they
them
were
up.
just yeah,
Oh gosh,
yeah,
so ladders and hanging those things every year and taking them back down
yeah.
Yeah.
because the kids were playing basketball.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what they were doing. Oh, and none of those, the scissor lifts or anything to get you up there, huh? I bet you
Yeah.
didn't, and then eventually it moved from that gym into the new gym, correct?
I think it was there for a time,
Okay,
but we're back in what I call the new gym, but it's the old gym now.
okay. Tell me you guys brought, some of your instruments with you today.
Oh, we did.
You
I
did.
believe we did.
We twisted your arm? So, we'd love to get you guys to play something. What would you play if we could talk you into it? Maybe Folsom?
Yeah, let's see that.
Folsom Prison.
Will you do that? And
I've done that a time or two.
that's an old Johnny Cash song, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, let's kinda take a break and get you set up and let you guys sing that and let our audience have a treat of listening to the music of the jamboree.
We're hoping
All
for
right.
the treat part.
Okay, me too. But I know it will be.
I hear that train coming, it's rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on, dragging on. But that train keeps rolling on down to San Antonio. Yeah, yeah. When I was just a baby, Mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. I watched him die, but that train keeps rolling. I hang my head down and cry, cry, cry. If they let me out of prison, if the railroad train was mine, then I'd move it on a little farther down the line. If far from Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay every day. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. Yeah, yeah.
That was really good. Dave, you've still got that deep voice. So, when did you first sing that song at the jamboree? Any clue?
Oh, it's been one of my favorites for a long, long time.
How many years have you performed at the jamboree
I've emceed it for 23 years.
and sing some along with it as well and
Yeah.
play?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I sing every year. I sing a couple.
very nice. Very nice. It wouldn't be the same thing without you. I
Yeah.
know that.
Probably be better.
Well, we won't find out in the near future.
Oh, okay.
Now, Linda, when did you first? I think you were in high school or junior high, maybe.
I was in the 3rd grade when I first started.
And this is a picture. This is someone pretty special.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about?
Yeah, this is my mom. This was in 1983 when she came back to the show, and she was on the original show, the first one they ever had.
Really?
She sang "It Ain't in Any Catalog." It's a great song,
How fun. And
and she's been, made appearances off and on throughout her life. We'd twist her arm and get her to come back on and do a song or 2.
and this is a picture of someone we know. This is you,
Yeah.
Linda, right?
Yeah, man, I had the curly hair then, and, I know what boots I was wearing because they matched the hat band on my hat there. I bought that at Skinner got them at Skinner's, that's me and John Hill,
How
a good
fun.
friend of mine, and we played for years together.
Have you done every jamboree basically for the rest of your life once you started?
I took about 17 years off. I think I was on, uh, from 1969 through, uh, 1984. And then I took time off and I came back in 2000.
Huh.
We had a 50th anniversary show, and we got to invite, some of the not old timers, but former
Mhm.
performers that were on that back in the day, and we put on just a great jam session, old time show on Thursday nights.
Now this is this your brother-in-law?
This is my brother-in-law in 1983, and uh, right in front of that, you have a picture of my sister, and that was in the same year.
Oh, let's see.
They were married at this time, but they met because of this show.
And this is Kim Luna
This is
now.
Kim
Les
Luna,
Miller. Les
yes.
Miller.
Yeah, and Kenny, when they met, Kenny had come to be on the show, and my sister was not on the show that year because she was living in Lubbock going to college, and she came over to the show, and
She liked the looks of somebody.
yeah, they liked the looks of each other. They got acquainted and have been married, and since then, they have been on the show, played very important roles on that show, both played in the band.
Wow.
Their kids have all been on the stage with them. Their kids are all musicians. It's just a
Now some of the others, Ronnie Miller was someone that played, on this for a lot of years, and we may have taken the picture down,
yeah,
but
we've got a picture right here of him.
is this
Yes, that's
he was in
Ronnie.
local bands around and just a
Oh, yeah.
tremendous.
Yeah, this is my cousin. He started on the show in 1970, and we played years together. He was so much fun. Ronnie was an amazing musician.
He was, and
Yeah.
he's the son of
Dink.
Dink and Dorothy
Yes.
Miller, right?
And this is I've got to give you another picture
Okay.
here. This
Oh, this is funny.
this is a picture of Kim, my sister, and me and Ronnie playing on the show, and this was a time we performed in-house. We took the show around for a few years. We'd go to different communities and
Really? Oh, so you traveled.
oh, yes, we did. And anyway, we were singing Daddy played first base, Mama played second,
Well,
and we had to wear hats.
and always, the great that you can't not show just the stage
Yeah.
and the look of this whole performance and everybody up there. And Ronnie Fouts plays
Yes.
with you currently,
Oh, yes, Ronnie Fouts has a long-time performer on the show.
and your brother, Lynn,
Yes,
he
my brother
sang,
was on it, and then his family,
and your children.
and all of my kids have been on the show.
Who are we leaving out? I know there's been a lot of others. The Griffiths,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean, just a lot of different ones.
Oh, lots of local families.
Some coming and going.
Yeah.
but,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's well, one of the original performers and probably the lady who started the show was Thelma Gossett. Her grandson has been on the show. Her kids have been on the show. It's just it
Continuing
just
on.
continues and continues.
Do you have one more song that you guys would sing for us?
Oh, we'll dig one up.
Well, I'm gonna do a request. Would you guys do Amazing Grace?
Oh, that's a
You
good
bet.
one.
That is.
Your family sang that at my mom's service and made that so very special, and it just is a heartwarming, and I'm sure you guys have performed it for many families
Yeah.
in trying times, and it's so comforting, and that's my request if y'all do that for me.
We will do it for you, Evelyn.
Okay.
You
Thank
bet.
you.
Thank you.
It's a good medicine song.
Yep.
Sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. Oh, there's no less days to sing God's praise than when but now I see, I see.
That song just always touches my heart. Thank you.
You're welcome. That is a beautiful song and timeless.
It is, for lots of
Mhm.
situations. Do y'all sing that at the jamboree? Is
Sometimes.
that one
Yes,
that you
yes.
okay.
Yeah, sometimes.
Tell us the different types of music that is played. I mean, I know it's probably
Uh,
changed, but over the history of it, what all has typically been played?
well, we do, all 3 kinds. We do country, western, bluegrass,
All 3 of them.
all 3. There might be a little rock and roll every once in a while.
But when this started, people actually tried out, right? You had more performers
Oh,
than what you had time.
when this started, it was by invitation,
Wow.
and folks were invited to come play, and it was a, pretty, pretty tight show.
So to get in, you had to be
Yeah, you were ju
really,
yeah,
really top
someone in the
notch.
community, someone on the show would recognize you and invite you. Um, my uncle, Dinky, was on the Lions Club, and he had invited my sister to come sing because she, sang around and
Sure.
did some stuff, and so she started on the show, and then he got they invited me, and then we invited Ronnie, and it was like that for quite some time. I'm sorry, Dave, I'm just taking up all this
You're
time.
doing good.
Then there was a time and that people wanted to be on the show,
Mhm.
and so they would come to practice and say, "Can I be on this show?" And so they'd say, "Okay, yeah, you can you can try out for it," and they'd play, and sometimes they would get on the show as well.
And
And sometimes they
sometimes the
didn't.
cane
And
came and pulled them off.
yeah, yeah, and so it was fun, but as the show progressed, we reached such a broad audience, people from all over. Someone that was on the show for many years was Larry Buchanan. Now, I know a lot of
Oh,
people remember Larry,
it
and he told me that when he first came to the show, it was in the old building,
mhm,
in the auditorium, and they came to the show. They lived at Bledsoe, Texas at
right.
that time, and there was no seating, so they had to stay out in the hallway, but they listened, and when they moved to Floyd,
That's
Larry, he wanted to be part of that
oh, I
show,
bet.
and he was a tremendous
He was,
part.
because his family did the Billy the Kid up at the Cap Rock when they had that
Yes.
amphitheater and sang, and one of his sons was in my class, and
Okay.
Scott was in the class a couple years
Yeah.
before, but yeah, tremendous musicians, the whole family,
Oh,
Jill and
yes, and all
um,
all of those kids
mhm.
performed on the show and played in the band, and yeah.
Well, and the Owen sisters.
Yes.
There was a whole group of those, and they sang, and I remember I just had Bobby, she was
Yeah.
close to my age, and I just thought, "Oh, I just wish I could have performed like she did."
Oh, yes, they were so good, and see, we've already we're adding more marriages here.
That's true, that's true.
Yes.
It just keeps happening. So what time of the year does this typically take place of the show?
It's always been the last part of March,
Okay,
and we try to shoot for the last weekend, but we will fudge just a little
it
bit, but
does.
it will be in March.
How do you get the word out to people? How do people find out about the show? To know the dates and the times? Do you do flyers, or what do you do?
We do flyers and a couple radio stations, 2 or 3 radio stations, and just word of mouth.
Yep.
Okay, just one of those events. It's always do you have any of the social media platforms for the Floyd
Yeah, I
Country
believe you
Jamboree?
can find out about it on Facebook. I know it's there.
Okay,
Uh, Other places, I'm not certain, but yeah, it's
but just
just ask somebody.
ask somebody from the community, but I know flyers are a good way, and
Yeah,
that's typically where I have
yeah.
found out. But, um, so in the early years, basically, that was in the '50s, the type of music that
Mm.
would have been played, was it a lot of George Jones and Tammy Wynette and things like that, or did it just always kinda vary?
It varied, but it was what I'd call traditional music, lots of fiddles, lots of good toe tapping,
Yeah, my mom.
hand clapping
Yeah.
music.
Right, right. How fun is that?
Yeah.
And, it's kind of interesting because before, if you didn't take ads out in the paper and there wasn't even social media or anything like
Yeah.
that, a lot of folks probably didn't even have telephones or pretty new.
Yeah.
I guess when they went to church Sunday and different things like that. Well, this is
Word got out because they came
They
in
came.
droves.
They did.
They came. Well, this is an interesting thing. Your grandparents donated the land for the school, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to tell us this story? Do you want me to? They donated the land for the school, and this would I don't know when the school actually was founded, but somewhere
28 or 9.
early 1900s.
Yeah.
But one of the requirements was because your granddad um, wasn't real big into the dancing and everything that went with it, there wasn't allowed dancing on the school
Right.
property, right? And I mean,
Right.
you remember this, Linda.
Oh, I remember that.
Everybody remembers.
Yeah.
Threw rocks at me in the playground.
Did they really? And so, we would always have our proms at a place in town or at the fire
Mhm.
station or someone's barn. The last time I went to the Jamboree a couple of years ago, my mouth kind of dropped because there was dancing going on in the back of the gym. And I thought, how are they getting by with this? But you said that you're one of the surviving Nashes and you've made a change in policy.
Yeah.
So you guys actually put plastic there at the back of the
Mhm.
Yeah,
gym
we've encouraged dancing,
and so that
and it's a family show.
yeah,
I've said, you can bring your grandmother or your grandchild,
right,
and nobody gets embarrassed. I mean, it's a clean family show,
right,
and that includes the dancing.
sure.
There's no alcohol allowed, and
Mhm. Yeah, just
family fun.
and what are the tickets? What do they usually cost on that?
Ten
I
ten
rem the last time I
dollars
remember was $10. I
Yeah.
don't know if there's a discount. We're
is a
probably all
discount
seniors,
for
so we might
for
all
the
get
younger
that.
kids.
Okay.
You get your money's worth in the first 15 minutes and the rest is free.
Right.
And the concession stand's there, and the visiting, there's an intermission usually, so you can
Yes.
do that, and
And that's where a lot of people they come to visit with people they
Mhm.
met last year.
well, and a lot of
Yeah.
times that's the only
Just
time I see people
yeah,
is when I go to something like that.
a lot of visiting happening in the
I think people wait for that intermission just so they can visit, and I
yeah.
sat beside your dad last
Oh,
time and
good.
visited with him, so that was fun.
He'll be there this time.
I bet so.
Hope you will be too.
I plan to be. I plan to be. Something else, there was actually the Citizens of the Year is
Mhm.
awarded, correct?
Yes, we do that on Friday, not Friday, Saturday nights, and the Lions Club selects someone who works hard in the Floyd community. They don't always have to be a resident of Floyd, but someone who contributes
Contributes to the
to the
community.
community,
Yeah.
Okay.
and that's a long-standing tradition.
And quite the honor to receive
Yes,
that
it
because there's a
is.
lot of
It
good
absolutely
good
is.
folks out
Yeah.
there. So, well, I know people, this is something exciting and, can always look to see when it's going to be, and this is a fundraiser for the Lions Club, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And they do a lot of
We do a lot of things with the money that we raise in the jamboree. We share a nurse with several area schools, and when she finds a student that needs eyeglass
mhm,
attention,
Mhm.
Lions Club pays for the eye test and the glasses.
right.
We do just a lot of people having health problems, running back and forth to the hospital. We help them on their expenses and
Well, this is
a lot of different.
Absolutely.
we're wrapping up, but it's a great, like you said, family event, towards the last part of March, so look for that. Friday, Saturday night starting at 7, and get in touch with somebody if you have questions, and raise money for a good cause, and
You
Dave,
bet.
Linda,
Yeah.
thank y'all so much. This has been so fun.
Oh, it has been,
Thanks
Evelyn.
for the opportunity.
Yeah,
You're more than welcome. The pleasure
Enjoyed it.
was mine.
great to reminisce
It
together.
is. And to all of you watching, thank you, and we will see you next time. Cheers.